You have to really enjoy failing too, right? I mean that, it's such a humbling thing when you are the first one through the wall is the bloodiest. Your group is trying to admire what they're trying to do. They're trying to be disruptive to the industry and in many ways in the long term change the market, But to tie back to that is the goal to eventually be to the point where 100% of the power that you have for your data centers, regardless of where they're going to be, will be 100% green. And that's right out of the gate? Or was that be something like, by 2057, we're going to be there?
No, it is
day one, minute one?
Day one.
So it's all a function of negotiating those PPAs.
Yeah.
And is that, you're the quarterback on that type of thing?
No, that's Bill's leading that charge.
Okay.
But it's going to be really exciting to see all of that come together. And that's,
Is anybody else playing along that level of commitment that you're getting to right now with green energy?
Everybody's trying to figure it out. I think we're going to be the first ones to put it together the way we're doing it on the scale that we're going to do it. But, again, it's kind of table stakes. You've got to have a way.
What's the risk? Is it that because of that guarantee as a good steward for sustainability and renewal, it means that there will be additional OpEx costs or arbitrarily? So is it because it may be more expensive too a little bit, but at least it's 100% green? Is that the risk?
I mean, there's a few risks. And I think one of the ways that we're unique, we're only targeting hyperscale.
Okay.
Or
wholesale.
Say it in a different way. We're targeting people who are going to buy half or one half or one whole or multiple of our buildings.
So you only have 2 clients in a building at the most.
At the most, yeah.
Which is a different business model.
It's a different business model. So when you think about how a co-location data center builds, ramps up its power, can you as the operator walk in day one with, fronting a PPA for all of that power that you don't know exactly when it's going to get used? Because
if you miss it, the clawbacks would be your rate table would get flipped on its head.
You're going to be paying that power bill. You're not going to be able to pass it through.
Yeah, exactly right.
So it can be, I'm not saying it can't be done, but it can be challenging to match like that. You can certainly buy megawatts to match and offset the number of megawatts you're using.
You kind of got to get a customer to guarantee what their ramp load is going to look like.
You want a customer to match their usage to the energy that you're bringing in.
Got you. So you have to collaborate with that client to make sure that you're not overcommitting.
Right.
And then at the same time, you're sharing that risk with that enterprise end user, and they're gaining the benefit of saying, hey, we're doing the right thing here, and this is what we're doing, right? So how well has that narrative been received?
I think it's, we're communicating it now. So we're getting that conversation out to the market. Bill's been speaking at some of the renewables, and energy conferences. I've been talking about it at some of the data center events. So we're getting it out there. We're getting it, now we've got John on board to really continue to evangelize that with the customers and talk about how, great it's going to be to be able to do this. He's a good guy to do it. Yeah. So the message is getting out there. We're a young company. I mean, we just had our press release in January and it's only April. I know it seems like it should be December, but it's only April. So it's been 4 months.
No, I think that there's a few different schools of approach and how people do it. They try to stay in stealth mode until they've arrived at something of significance, and they announce, "Hey, by the way, everyone kind of knows," because NDAs are extremely important in this space. But what I found is contractors horse trade on that type of data as much as they can, and regardless of how hard you'll try, there will be an element of things that they simply just find a way of getting out of the bottle, right? Yeah. And to that end, controlling that narrative, what you're doing, I think that's what you're doing right now with your roadshow and your campaigns and going and speaking all these things. I think also allowing people to understand what the market is driving, right? Because you're not arbitrarily just doing this. It's Field of Dreams. We're going to build it and they'll come. There's pent demand for this.
There is so much demand. I don't know how much you heard of some of the other panels yesterday as well, but some of the predictions on our panel were there will be no available space. All of the available space is going to get leased in the next few years.
In the NFL markets, or is that? We're already seeing that, right?
Everywhere.
It's going to be about, what do you think the number one driver is? Is it space? Is it power? Is it supply chain? Is it?
I think there's just so much shift. There's been so much shift in what the drivers are on the customer side.
I agree.
At first they all needed, more and more power and space, just bigger buildings, bigger campuses. Now they need spaces that are closer to their end users, that are, you know, right on the edge, that can deal with, you know, algorithms and smart homes and self-driving cars and all these little pieces in between. And then there's got to be somewhere to store all the stuff that's created. So the demand isn't going to go away. It's not even going to go down.
Oh, no chance.
No, there's no chance.